Welcome to The Block. This is a sandbox game where you build your own cities on a tiny patch of land, and that's literally the whole game. I'm not kidding, like, that's actually the entire premise of this game. It is, like, categorized as a city builder, or I guess the developer describes it as such, which, I mean, that is true, technically, but you don't really have that much control over what the buildings themselves look like, because I think the buildings are actually randomly generated, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so basically, imagine Townscaper, but even more bite-sized than that, and you pretty much have the block. I wouldn't be surprised if this game took inspiration from Townscaper, because it kinda seems like it is taking a lot of inspiration from that game. The graphics in particular are definitely a lot more lo-fi than Townscaper, though. The visuals in this game seem to resemble the more low-polygon sort of aesthetic of the PlayStation 1. At least that's what I was personally reminded of when I looked at some in-game screenshots for this game. And I was also surprised to find out that this game is being worked on by a developer whose work I have actually covered in the past. If you remember the video that I did on the ramp about a year ago, well, this game is being developed by the same person who made the ramp. Indeed, this is their newest game that they are currently working on, and it is set to be released as a commercial game. However, there is a disclaimer that I do need to add here. This is only a demo version of the game because the full game is not actually out yet, but it is going to be coming out fairly soon. It's going to be released in just about 2 weeks, actually. The game is set to be officially launched on December 16th, and you're probably wondering why I didn't just wait until December 16th to do a video on this game, and I definitely have a reason for that, and you're also probably wondering why I'm even playing such a, like, very small-scale game in the first place, or a game that's, like, extremely small in scope. Well, I do have good reasons for doing all of that today, because I am more or less treating this video as a bit of a channel update of sorts. I haven't really done a channel update style video in a while. As a matter of fact, I think the last one I did was back in like 2018, if I'm not mistaken, so it's definitely long overdue. But there are some things that I want to discuss with you guys regarding just some personal things that have been happening to me over the past month or so that I kind of have been struggling to deal with, honestly. And I do want to briefly talk about some potential changes that I might be making to my channel at the beginning of 2023. So I'm going to discuss all of that probably near the end of the video, and that's actually part of the reason why I wanted to play this game today, just because I knew that this is the kind of game that I could do a very brief video on, and not waste your guys' time whatsoever. Like, I could take about a good 10 minutes or so showing off the actual gameplay of the game here, and then, you know, discussing some of the stuff that I plan on doing in regards to my channel in the future. So with that being said, we are gonna get started here. Now, the thing about this demo is that it's actually a time demo, and the time limit on this demo is only 7.5 minutes, which I feel will give me more than enough time to figure out the general mechanics of the game and how exactly it plays, because I'm gonna be real with you, like, I'm not expecting much from this game, and you shouldn't expect too much from it either. I'm gonna get the gameplay itself out of the way first, and then I'm gonna provide you guys with some updates as to what exactly is going to be going on with the channel come 2023 and some other, like, life updates, I guess, but for now, let's actually play the game. So it seems like we do have different land sizes here as well. We have extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. Everything else except for medium is locked, it seems, and I imagine that you can probably only unlock the other sizes, the other land sizes, in the full version of the game, which, again, keep in mind, the full version is not out yet at the time I'm recording this, so this is, in fact, the only version of the game that I actually can play at the moment. Alright, well, let's just go and play this here very quickly. Okay, so I do believe all the, like I said, all the buildings I think here are randomly generated, so you left-click to place a building down, you right-click to erase it. Okay, that seems, simple enough, or, well, actually, can you erase it? Oh no, you actually can't. You just select between different buildings. Oh. Okay, but it seems like you can rotate it with the scroll wheel. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, you can spin it around. Spin it right round, baby. Right round like a record. Okay, but we need to go quick here. Okay, so this is a church. Let's just put the church down here. Oh, well, this actually looks a lot more like a castle spire than anything else. Okay, well, actually, wait a second. These don't seem to be all that randomly generated, though, but, okay, we're gonna do some speed building here. Oh, we can adjust the camera with Q and E keys. Okay. It seems like this game is mostly isometric. Okay, so we can place down some trees as well. Or we could build a completely new map with R key. Or, yeah, we can, like, reset the whole map with the R key. Press escape to open up the menu, I'm guessing. H is for a hint? Oh no, H, we can just disable the hints. Okay. How about we put some trees on the side over here? Yes, I feel like we are effectively just making a church building here. Okay, so I don't... What exactly is there any way to zoom this in at all? Maybe there isn't. Oh, we can also press the W key to cycle between different building types as well here, it seems. Okay, so let's just build out the back over here. Okay, that might have actually just been a street light that I put down. Okay, well, I pressed the R key by accident. I did not actually mean to do that. Okay, fine, screw the church building. Let's just make like a park instead. Okay, wait, is there really no way for me to remove the buildings aside from like, oh, okay, I guess in order to remove everything, we just have to reset the entire map. That does seem to change the color palette of everything though. Okay, let's just put some trees down here. Okay, do we just want to make like a giant castle? I do think we want to just go with like a big castle here. Okay, so how... I don't think this is how castles are normally supposed to look. Oh god. Only like 2 minutes in and I'm already making a mess of absolutely everything. Okay, let's just put some... Yeah, let's just put some little spires down on the side, perhaps. Oh god, this does not look aesthetically pleasing in the slightest. Here, let's just put down some slightly normal-looking buildings over here. You can maybe place some trees in the back. There we go. Because this is where we're gonna put like we're gonna put the backyard behind here, okay? That's what I'm calling this here. I'm gonna put this out in the backyard. There we go. It seems like the amount of trees that you put down seems to be random. Okay, well, there we go. You put down some I'm guessing those are meant to be city lights, but I don't exactly know. I wish I could get a better look at that by zooming in, but it doesn't seem like there's a way to zoom in. I mean, I don't know, did it tell me that there is a way to zoom in here? No, there's just a way to, like, move the camera around with the Q and E key is. Yeah, because using the scroll wheel just rotates all of the different objects that I'm trying to place down here. Okay, and right-click just cycles through all of them. Okay, don't know what in the world this building is over here, but sure, just place it down. Place it down right there. Want another spire? Sure. Then we'll just deck out this entire row with trees. Why not? We'll just do that. Deck out the entire row right here with trees. Very nice. Oh, okay, we can only add stuff to the little parts of the grid that are actually, like, that are outlined here. Oh, okay, so we can't just build things wherever we want, okay. So we don't have, like, complete freedom here. Okay, so this right here will be the entrance to the backyard, right over here. I'll just keep a space open right there, just so that way people can actually, like, you know, get into the forest in the background. Sure, why not? And we'll have some buildings on the side over here. There we go, just like a tiny building right over this way. Just have some small buildings right here. Okay, so maybe they are actually randomly generated to some degree, because it kind of seems like... Yeah, the sizes of the buildings are definitely not consistent. It does seem like they are just giving me, like, completely random building sizes to some degree. Okay, can I have the... Oh, I wanted the street light again. Hang on. Oh my god, give me the street light, please. Okay, so I guess getting certain objects in this game is also, like, up to random chance. That's really odd. Okay, so, oh god, how am I gonna deck out the rest of this? I don't know, maybe just put some more trees down? Well, I definitely think I need to put a tree down right here. Okay, the demo's actually about to end, because I do want to put, like, a little building down right here. You just deck this out with more trees. Very nice. There, I don't know, maybe this could be, like, inside the castle. There we go. We could just block all of this off right here and just put some nice trees down. There we go. Just leading into the backyard of the castle. Yeah, I don't know, trees inside, like a little park inside of the castle or something. I don't know. That's kind of the idea that I was going for. I don't really know. Right, well, I guess my demo time is up now. Okay, well, hopefully I made something that actually looked kind of coherent. hopefully. Wish I could have gotten a bit of a better look at that. I don't know, is there a way to reset the demo time? There probably isn't, but I don't know, what if I just close the game and reopen it? Is it still gonna tell me that the demo time is up? It probably will. Yeah, it does just keep telling me that the demo time is up, actually. I just restarted the game and it showed the exact same screen here. Okay, so I guess it really doesn't, it doesn't allow you to keep playing the demo afterwards. Yeah, it just locks you out of the demo completely, so you can't even play it anymore, huh? Not really sure if I'm the biggest fan of that, honestly, but again, I can understand if, like, I guess I can understand if the developer wants you to go and get the full version so that, you know, you can get unlimited time that way, and you can get, like, bigger plots of land, and you can also support the developer directly. I forgot to mention, by the way, that this demo is not actually new. This demo has been out since at least June. But I was not aware that this demo was already out. I only discovered this demo earlier today, actually, and when I saw that there was a time limit on the demo, I was actually kind of taken aback by that. I was like, okay, well, I definitely can't do like a walkthrough style video on this then, I'm gonna have to do it blind. Yeah, but I feel like you guys more or less get the whole gist of the game just from that little bit of gameplay alone. It seems like those are the only mechanics in the entire game, so you can move the camera around with Q and E, you place stuff down with left click, and you can rotate with the scroll wheel, and then you can right click to cycle through different objects, and I guess the objects are actually random. It doesn't seem like you can select from a predetermined list of objects, it seems like the game just randomizes all the objects. It does seem like the different building types all have different sizes and heights as well, so it does seem like there is a bit of randomization, which again, does kind of remind me of Townscaper. The idea that I was trying to go for when I was building that castle just a few minutes ago was like, kind of like trying to create a park inside of the castle. I don't know, I guess in a way I was kind of using like school buildings as a reference point, like a playground, because I mean, usually the playground in a lot of schools is located on the school grounds, right? Or I guess I was also using like university buildings as a reference point as well, because I'm pretty sure like most universities have like a giant section within the center that's usually surrounded by the building itself, like it's within the confines of the building, but it's outside, it's in an outside area. You know, it's kind of like a giant park that you can walk around outside, but it's still within like, you know, the confines of the university. Like you have to enter the university building first, and then you can enter the outside portion of the university that way, like it's located in the center of the buildings, like it's surrounded by the buildings. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Am I describing this well at all? I don't feel like I am. Either way, I hope you understood what exactly I was trying to build there, because I feel like it was coherent enough that you were easily able to understand what I was actually making, but regardless. Yeah, I don't think I need to see any more. I understand what exactly this game is trying to do. It seems like this game was mostly inspired by Townscaper. I wouldn't be surprised if the developer was taking a lot of inspiration from that game. Definitely feels even more bite-sized than Townscaper, though, I will at least say that. It seems like it's meant to be even simpler than that game. But yeah, I would say that it definitely has value as like a little time waster. I think the developer did also describe this game as being more of a toy than a game, which I'm pretty sure the developer of Townscaper also described his game as such as well. Yeah, so this seems to be more of a little, like, digital toy that you can just mess around in for a few minutes, but it's not really meant to last you for too long. The aesthetics seem to be a lot more inspired by the PlayStation 1 than Townscaper does, though, because Townscaper's visuals are definitely a lot more cartoonish. I think they are, like, essentially cel-shaded. This one seems to be going for a much more lo-fi aesthetic, though, and I mean, I do like the aesthetic, for sure. I think it's starting to become maybe just a tad bit overdone in indie games nowadays, but it's still an aesthetic that I can definitely appreciate. Unfortunately, it seems like you can only change the color palette of all the buildings by restarting the level entirely, which I'm not sure if I really am into that. I would like to be able to just change that at any time that I want, which, I don't know, maybe you will be able to in the full version of the game, but I don't really know. I think I will still buy the full version of this game regardless, just so that I can support the developer directly, but I don't know, this does kind of feel like one of those games that I would rather just play on my own time instead of doing a video on, but I still wanted to do a video on it regardless, because given that I've been trying to regain my ability to make short-form videos again, or like much shorter videos, yeah, I felt like this would be the perfect demo to try and play, actually. It seems like that's all it's allowing me to play, just 7.5 minutes of gameplay, but I feel like that's more than enough. I think you guys understand the whole mechanics of the game, and there aren't that many mechanics to describe anyway. It's literally just building a bunch of tiny, randomly generated cities, so yeah, that's it. That's the whole game, man. Nothing more, nothing less. It seems to follow the same sort of, like, less is more philosophy that the ramp also followed, and I feel like the ramp wound up being a much better game because of that, so yeah, if you want to go and wishlist it, you can right now, because the game is still not out yet, and it's not coming out for another 2 weeks, so if this interested you at all, the tiny little fragment that you were able to see of this, then yeah, there will be a link in the description to where you can buy the game on Steam or any other platform that it's getting released on. I imagine that the game's probably not going to be that expensive when it does finally come out, so you're probably not going to be, you know, shelling out that much money for this game. This definitely feels like the kind of game that was made specifically for people who can't afford to spend that much money on games generally. So I guess if you are strapped for cash and you want like a good time waster that'll hold you over for maybe a few minutes at most, then yeah, I would recommend checking out the block. If I had known that this demo was available beforehand, this probably would have been one of the other demos that I showcased during the Summer Steam Next Festival that took place this year. But I don't think I need to go into any further detail than that, so yeah, video's done. Links in the description if you want to wishlist the game. Right, so this is where the channel update portion of the video is going to begin, and I didn't really feel like separating this into a standalone video, because again, I felt like this game in particular would have taken me very little time to actually explain and go over, and I just figured that I could very easily turn this into a channel update sort of video as well, in addition to a gameplay video. So, as you guys probably already know, it is December now, the very last month of 2022. I have no idea how that happened exactly. Time has literally no meaning anymore. And yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end of the year now. I believe that it will be December 5th by the time this video goes live, but I'm actually recording this on the 3rd. I actually just finished recording the Turgenev study, which is the video that went live immediately before this. You guys should have already seen that video by this point, though. And I think once that video goes live, and once I finally finish working on this video as well and putting it out on the channel, I think I am actually going to be done for the remainder of the year. So, if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you probably already know that I usually take a break from YouTube around the middle of December, usually so that I can spend the holidays with my family. Like, this is something that I have been doing for a pretty long time now. You know, I would much rather not make videos during the holiday season, because this is usually the time of year when I would much rather be spending time with my family members instead of just constantly working on videos. And I have decided that I am going to be starting my holiday break a little bit earlier than I normally do, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I am feeling a little bit mentally exhausted. Not necessarily because I feel like I've been pushing myself too hard with videos recently, although to be fair, just given the pace at which I have been putting out videos for the past 2 weeks now, I do kind of feel like maybe I have been pushing myself a little bit. I mean, it is great in a way, because I do feel like the past 2 weeks have actually been pretty productive for the channel, because I've already put out, like, how many videos did I record in the past 2 weeks, actually? Like 10 videos, I think? And I'm pretty sure this video right here is actually the 10th one. But yeah, it's not necessarily because I have been putting videos out at a much faster rate than I normally do nowadays. No, it does have more to do with some personal stuff that I have been dealing with in the past month or so. And it is personal stuff that I still don't really feel too comfortable discussing, because I do just want to let you guys know that I am fine right now, and I am going to be fine for the foreseeable future, hopefully, but there have been some things that have been happening in my personal life recently that I have been struggling to deal with. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it does involve the loss of a loved one. There was a close relative of mine who just passed away suddenly, and it caught me completely off guard, and yeah, I've been grieving ever since, and I still haven't really, like, finished grieving over that yet. And I mean, my entire family has pretty much been grieving ever since, actually, because my entire family knew who this person was, and they were very close to them as well. They were pretty much part of our extended family, more or less. I didn't really know them all too well personally, but I did have some interactions with them in the past, and I definitely, like, I've talked to them before on several occasions, and I've known them for several years as well. I've known them for like, oh god, probably like the past 15 years, probably. But yeah, my entire family was pretty much devastated when we got the news that they had suddenly passed away, and yeah, I was definitely feeling pretty weird about it as well. And it did pretty much kill my motivation to make videos for a little while, because you might have noticed in the middle of November that I actually disappeared from YouTube again for about 2 weeks after I uploaded the Curse Ball video. And part of that did have to do with the shocking news that I had just received at the time. And yeah, I didn't mention anything about it at the time just because I wasn't really comfortable talking about it then. That's why when I did come back to YouTube after my 2-week break, I just mentioned nothing about it. I was more or less trying to distract myself from this awful news by just recording videos, which is pretty much what I also did when, like, other family members of mine passed away. That's more or less what I used to do in the past, and looking back at it now, that probably wasn't a great idea, because I don't feel like I was putting out my best content after those, after those life-altering events happened to me. But yeah, I just made the same mistake again by just going and making videos and trying to distract myself from it, but I feel like the videos I put out in the past 2 weeks were not really that bad, honestly. Like, the games themselves I definitely enjoyed playing, and a lot of the games that I had covered in the past 2 weeks were games that I wanted to cover on the channel for a while. I just really feel like I haven't been in the right mental state to be making videos for the past month or so, and I really do feel like I should take a break for the remainder of the year. So, again, this is normally the time of the year when I usually do just go on break anyway for the holidays, but I think I'm going to start it a little bit earlier this time of year just because of, what's been happening with me personally and what's been happening with my family in the past month, because, yeah, my family is kind of going through a bit of a rough time right now, admittedly, and I would much rather be there for them instead of, just trying to distract myself by making videos constantly, which is honestly not a healthy thing to do. If you're experiencing grief, you should just allow yourself to grieve and not try to distract yourself by doing lots of work within a very short time period, which is more or less what I've been doing in the past 2 weeks, and I'm starting to realize it might have been a bit of a mistake because I have not been feeling any better, like, mentally. So yeah, I do feel like I should just go on break a little bit earlier. I really do feel like I need to step away for a little while and just, like, allow myself to grieve, because I was really not expecting this at all, man. Especially since I had talked to them only about a month prior to their passing, and they seemed okay. Like, it seemed like they were in pretty much perfect health. That's the crazy thing, too. It seemed like they were perfectly fine. I had a conversation with them only about maybe 3 or 4 weeks before they passed away, and they seemed perfectly fine. It didn't seem like there were any health problems that they were suffering from at the time, but then, like, just 3 or 4 weeks later, around the beginning of November, I got the news that they were in the hospital. I had no idea what exactly they were hospitalized for, but then, like, the morning after, I got the news that they had passed away in the hospital, and I was just dumbfounded. Like, I just didn't really know how to react at the time. I think there were actually some other videos that I was working on at the time as well, and I ended up delaying them for a couple of days because I was just not in the mood to edit any videos for, like, a good couple of days after that. I don't know, man, it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would, especially since, like, I didn't really know them personally, but at the same time, it still felt like I had lost someone who was very close to me. And I mean, it wouldn't have been the first time that I had lost someone who was very close to me, because I mentioned before that I had actual family members of mine who have passed away before. But in a way, I was kind of expecting them to pass eventually, because they unfortunately did become very ill, and I kind of knew, like, okay, well, they're probably not going to make it for too much longer, and I kind of just accepted the fact that they were going to die after a while, or relatively soon. But for this person in particular, it was just so sudden, and it didn't seem like they were suffering from any sort of health problems whatsoever. Like, it just hit everyone in my family so suddenly, and we were just devastated. It's so freaking crazy, man, but I don't know, I guess that's just how life works, right? Life is constantly throwing curveballs at you, and you just kind of have to, I don't know, you don't really have any other choice but to just roll with the punches, I guess. Yeah, so the entire point of me telling you guys all of this is because I just want you to know, like, how I've been feeling mentally in the past month or so, and the short answer is not great. I really do think I should have just taken more time off, actually, to try and, like, process everything that's been going on in the past month or so, but I didn't do that again. But I finally had enough, honestly, and I really do feel like I need to take a step back for a while, so this will most likely be the last video of the year, and that does lead me into some of the changes that I want to make to my channel, or possibly some potential changes that I might be making to my channel in 2023 at the start of January. I'm actually kind of thinking of trying to implement a schedule back into my channel. Because again, if you've been following me for a while, then you probably know that there did used to be some kind of schedule on my channel before, because I used to do daily uploads on my channel a really long time ago. I would try to upload at least one video a day, but I eventually scrapped that schedule altogether because it eventually came to a point where I just could no longer keep up with the grind, like the tedious grind of trying to put out new videos every single day. I feel like that wasn't giving me enough time to actually work on videos, but at the same time though, I haven't really been content with how inconsistent my uploads have been for the past, like, 5 years now, give or take. So in order to restore a bit of consistency to the channel, I was thinking about re-implementing a schedule to the channel, but it would be a different schedule than the one I had before, because I was kind of thinking about doing weekly videos from now on. I was actually sort of thinking about maybe uploading a new video every Saturday, unless something got in the way where I was unable to upload videos on Saturday, but yeah, I was kind of thinking of implementing like a weekly schedule where I would upload a new video once a week. Now, of course, that would mean that I wouldn't be uploading videos anywhere near as often as I used to, but at the same time, I feel like it would still restore some consistency to my channel uploads, so at least that way you guys will know that you can come back here every single Saturday, and there will be, or there should be, a new video that goes live on that very day. Now, I haven't really decided, like, which time those videos are gonna go up on Saturdays, but I'll try and figure something out with that. I don't know if I'm actually going to, like, upload the videos first and then just schedule them to go out at a specific time. That could possibly be something that I try to do, but yeah, I do kind of want to try and see if I can restore a little bit of consistency to my channel uploads, because they have been all over the place for a pretty long time now. I'm very aware of that. Part of that does have to do with the fact that I only do YouTube as a hobby, and I have only been doing it as a hobby for like the past 11 years now. There are some days where I just can't make videos, as simple as that, because I just have other, like, priorities in life that I have to tend to. But I do feel like implementing the weekly schedule will not only restore some consistency to the channel, but I feel like it'll make it a lot easier for me to actually decide on, like, what I want to record for the channel next, because I feel like I can more easily plan videos out that way. But that way I can also take more time for myself and just, like, you know, enjoy my life outside of YouTube, because I don't really want to just, like, dedicate my whole time to just recording videos constantly, because that's just not healthy. So I do want to try and see if I can create a bit more of a balance there, so that way I don't end up burning myself out again like I've done a couple of times in the past already. So we'll see how exactly that goes, and I will most certainly be back in January of 2023. I'm not going to be leaving YouTube forever. Whenever I take extended breaks like this from YouTube, I always want to remind you guys that I'm not going to be gone permanently. But just given everything that's been going on in my life right now, I just have not been feeling up to it. I just haven't been feeling the motivation to make videos, which is kind of weird considering I made like 10 videos in the past 2 weeks, but it's only because I was really trying hard to distract myself from everything else that was going on in my life, and I don't know, I feel it resulted in not my best commentary ever. I don't know. I feel like some of those videos were kind of forced, admittedly, but some of them I did genuinely like, especially, some of the videos where I was just having Freudian slip after Freudian slip, like the Liquid Kids video, for instance. I mean, I think the Liquid Kids video is probably my most favored video that I've done out of the batch of videos that I've put out over the past 2 weeks. That video and that game is just, it's something, alright? It's a sight to behold for sure. I was definitely in a real sort of mood during that video, but yeah. So, I don't think I really have anything more that I wish to discuss here. I think that pretty much concludes the channel update portion of this video. Just wanted to talk to you guys about some stuff that's been going on with me personally. I am struggling a little bit mentally at the moment. I mean, my entire family pretty much is, just with, you know, what's been happening recently. Also, I am legitimately thinking about implementing some changes to my channel and how exactly I run my channel as well. Those changes will probably come into effect sometime at the start of next year. I want to see if I can try and restore at least a little bit of consistency to my channel uploads, so that way they're not just, like, scattershot constantly, because again, they have been scattershot for, like, the past 4 to 5 years, and I want to see if I can finally try and fix that to some extent. Overall, I feel like this was a pretty productive year for the channel. I feel like I have put out more videos this year compared to, like, 2020 or 2021. I definitely feel like I had more motivation to be making videos this year alone than in the past 2 years, which I don't know if that had anything to do with the COVID lockdowns. I have no idea, but maybe it had to do in part with that, but, because to be honest, that too was also kind of destroying me mentally as well, but we've long moved past that now, and I would rather not be reminded of those days anymore. I guess we'll just leave it there then. So, I hope you guys have a safe and happy holidays, as always. Take care of yourselves, take care of the people around you as well, of course, because that's something that I feel like I don't do as often as I should. I've definitely come to realize that within, like, the past month alone, so stay safe out there. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and I will be seeing you sometime in 2023. So, yeah, have a safe and happy new year, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Later, guys.